Stop what you're doing because Mamdani is on fire right now with some massive allegations regarding his economic agenda, his character, and surprisingly, his fidelity. As all hell is breaking loose right now in New York City. We also have Hakeem Jeffries unable to defend him. The person who he endorsed for mayor cannot say a word about him. It is ridiculous. So while Bernie Sanders goes on record saying that Mamdani isn't actually the villain, Mamdani is the blueprint for not just New York, but for all of America. It is wild, and we just have to talk about all of it. So welcome back to the Adam C. Moreno Show. Please like, subscribe, turn on the bell, and let's jump right in. Starting with Polymarket, opening up a new prediction. Will Zohran Mamdani be deported this year by December 31st? People laughed, people joked, but you know what? Hours later, the odds did in fact double. The odds are still at 1%, right? I think this whole thing was for fun, although some House Republicans are seriously looking into this. But the scandalous nature of it all was really just the beginning of today, because look at this bombshell that just dropped. Apparently, this person saw Zohran Mamdani walk into a cafe that he was working at, and he did the unthinkable. Look at this guy talk about what he witnessed firsthand from the new mayor of New York City. It is unbelievable. I'm telling you, you are not prepared for this.
I was just in a cafe trying to get some work done, and the new mayor of New York City was in there, Zohran Mamdani, shooting an interview with NBC for some reason. Why the hell is he in this cafe in my neighborhood? And I gotta say, like, this is my choice to go to a cafe like this. It's extremely expensive. They sell chocolate bars there, Dubai chocolate bars, if you know what I mean, for $10. $10 fucking chocolate bars. This guy's a socialist, and he's eating a bar of gold that they claimed is food. It's a joke. It's a fucking joke. This guy's absurd. The drinks are $8 minimum. Chocolate bars through the roof. Croissants ass fucked with pistachio and chocolate, and everything's $15. And this guy wants free grocery stores. He's spending that much money. He's got 3 security guards. He's got a social media person with him, a young white woman who he may or may not have some sort of allegations coming from at some point. It's TikTok, so I can't say which kind. Sexual. That's bound to happen. He's got his young assistant, also white. He's got a security guard, tall, white guy, and a female black security guard, of course. A little diversity, throw it in the mix. A woman who can't defend him at all. That interview, here's a guy who's talking about saving money, how billionaires are wasting money. We should be taking their money and putting it back into the city that I love. That coffee probably cost him $7,000 between all the employees he has surrounding him. And also, here's the kicker. I wish I had filmed this. I should have. I was actually trying to work like a moron. I should have been filming this whole thing. At the end of the interview, he walks out of the cafe. He called it a coffee shop because he wants to be a man of the people. It's an expensive Middle Eastern cafe. He walks out of the cafe into the street and gets into a black SUV. He doesn't take public transit. He's in an expensive black car. He's in the modern day limousine. Trump took limousines, and Mamdani takes black cars.
Holy smokes. I don't even know how to respond to all of that. A sexual allegation brewing, an entire entourage for a coffee shop interview, right? A coffee shop, but it's like the most expensive cafe you could possibly go to. And this guy just went off. Why? Because people hate the hypocrisy. And the hypocrisy that Zohran is brewing is out of this world. Why would Zohran Mamdani, Democrat socialist, self-described, be caught dead eating the world's most expensive piece of chocolate? The thing is, when you preach that everything is free, but you travel everywhere in a modern limousine with 14 people next to you, and time and again having the best things to eat off the menu, people will obviously see the contradiction between the things that you say and the life that you live. People will feel it. And I have a feeling that we're going to see many more experiences like this, many more firsthand experiences like this. I do hope that his marriage actually isn't on the rocks and that there's no cheating scandal that's going to come out. That would be terrible. But things are just getting worse for Mamdani because the great exodus of New York has officially begun. Look at what I just saw from the New York Post. Real estate booms in Connecticut as wealthy New Yorkers rush to buy homes thanks to what? The Mamdani effect. Holy smokes. This is people with money moving their lives, their families, and what else? You guessed it, their tax dollars out of the city. I actually joked with one of my friends saying that if enough people leave New York, it will indirectly create more housing. But that's just not how it really works, especially when the people who are leaving are part of the 1%. But look at what Tim Pool said today. He responded to another article about this topic. Look at this. Higher income families are already fleeing New York City. And the $1 million question, who the F are you going to tax? It is so simple. If you have fewer high earners, but bigger budgets, what are you going to do? If you have less revenue, but more promises, what are you going to do? It's just not good. The math ain't mathin'. I don't know what else to say. Councilwoman Vicky from NYC says that Zohran and his young team is going to be the dumbest social experiment in human history. Wow. And while some people have a lot of doubts about Zohran Mamdani, other people like Senator Bernie Sanders see him as the blueprint. The blueprint. Look at this wild take from Bernie Sanders wanting to do what Mamdani did in NYC all over the country.
So what we have got to do is go above and beyond what happened yesterday, that terrible, terrible vote, and understand that, yes, you have parts of the Democratic establishment who are way, way out of touch with where the American people are or where we have got to go. And our job is to build a political movement. We are doing it with the 3 candidates for the Senate. I expect more to come with many candidates in the House, candidates all over this country running for local office. We're going to build that movement, grassroots movement, to do what Mamdani did in New York City, all over this country.
Yeah. How about let's not do that? I wish our goal was to push more common sense candidates forward. People care about making our cities safer, affordable, functional, and preserving the American dream, not radical. But as Bernie was finishing propping up Zohran Mamdani, Senator John Fetterman was pretty much doing the exact opposite, but to the Democrat Party. Look at him just go wild.
Write about that in your book. You said, quote, "I've drunk deeply of the venom of both the left and the right. As a connoisseur, I can confirm that the most poisonous, the bitterest, is from the far left." That is pretty remarkable to hear you say that as an elected Democrat. Why?
No. It's just been my personal experience on this thing. And when I asked my digital team, I said, we're on all the platforms. Really, what's kind of the harshest? What's kind of the most personal? And the answer was immediate. He said, "Oh, blue sky. It's blue sky." And the difference is, the right would say really rough things and names. Some names I won't repeat on TV. But the on the left, it was like they want me to die, or that we're cheering for your next stroke, or that's terrible that depression won. Why couldn't it depression won?
Are you kidding me? Why couldn't depression win? What kind of sick, disgusting maniacs would say that? This is absurd, completely unforgivable. And you know what? There's a reason why I'm not on Blue Sky. And it's only because of the concentration of verbal abuse that seems to come from the far left. It is so weird, as confirmed just now by Democrat Senator John Fetterman. It is so sad. You could even see how Dana is genuinely shocked to hear that. Wow. Anyone who's paid attention long enough has known this, but it is terrible to hear nonetheless. Another shocking moment is when Hakeem Jeffries refused to defend Mamdani on MSNBC. Mind you, he's the guy who endorsed him, stood by his values, and now is fleeing from him. All right, just like the residents of New York are fleeing to Connecticut. Look at this.
About another topic quickly while I have you. Your New York GOP colleague, Elise Stefanik, just announced this morning she's running for governor of New York, promising to make the state affordable and safe. Of course, that affordability argument worked for Democrats this week, including for Zohran Mamdani, a Democratic socialist who just became the next New York City mayor. And he has been a political punching bag for the right and divisive among your own party. Do you think Stefanik's going to make this race a referendum on Mamdani, and could it work?
You know, Elise Stefanik is nothing more than a handmaiden for Donald Trump's extreme policies. She's a sycophant who has been a repeated rubber stamp for Donald Trump's extreme agenda that is doing nothing but hurting the people of New York and everyday Americans across the country. If Elise Stefanik really wants to do something about the high cost of living, she should tell.
Notice how he didn't actually answer the question at all, completely ignored Zohran and just went straight to Elise Stefanik. What happened to standing by your partner in crime, Zohran? If you ask me, him dancing around this topic says everything. Anyways, that is the video from crazy allegations hitting Zohran Mamdani's desk to Bernie wanting this movement to become a nationwide phenomenon. No, thank you. To Fetterman exposing the cruel reality that exists on the far left. I'd love to know what you think about all this in the comment section. And if you made it this far, please like, subscribe, turn on the bell, all that jazz. And I will see you all next time. Episode's over already? Geez, that was fast. Well, they say beautiful things do not last forever, but feel free to watch and listen to another one of these episodes if you're interested in those conversations as well. Also, this next part is huge. Make sure to obliterate that like and subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never skip a beat. I also have a newsletter where we dive into the news, politics, and ideas that shape our future. If you're interested in signing up, I'd really appreciate that. Anyways, that's the end of this episode. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and I'll see you next time.